Alright, good morning guys. We are obviously in the Subaru today as the truck is currently down. I just stopped over here at Automotive Supply in my town. They were one of two people that we figured could press in these bushings. I always get scared of bringing other people things because, you know, once you give other people things, sometimes they don't care about them. I don't know. I think I just spent the last hour, about the last hour here kind of just talking to the guy. The guy's a little bit of a nutcase, which is okay. I can respect a nutcase as long as you can do the job properly. He kind of explained to me and talked me through what he was going to do, and it made perfect sense. Also made perfect sense on why we were struggling. So I'm going to give him a couple hours. He's probably going to take most of the day to put in these bushings as he gets sidetracked and he has a whole bunch of other things going on and so on and so forth. But we got to go to the shop. I had to clean up a set of wheels to sell to someone else because, again, like I said, I flip things on Marketplace. And then hopefully later today I'll get a phone call saying that these bushings are done, and then we can put the truck back together and hopefully have the truck on the road tonight. That is the goal. That is the hope. This guy looked at these bushings and was pretty confident in them, so I'm pretty confident that he has done enough of these, whether it's an F-150 or not. He's done enough of them that he can figure out how to get them in, and I'm just going to leave him to do it. I don't like when people look over my shoulder, so I'm not going to look over his shoulder. We're going to grab some food, go grab some of the wheels for the customer, and go from there. All right, guys, so we're at the shop. I just got a text that says that the control arm, at least one of the control arms is done. I got a picture, blurry picture. It's okay, though. The dude, honestly, I might have to ask him if he doesn't mind being on camera to explain everything. He is the quirkiest motherfucker I've ever met. I probably can't swear on YouTube. I apologize. If you know me in person, you know I swear like a sailor. But anyways, trying to fix that. So good news is this project, I do believe, will be back on the road here later today, which is fan-freaking-tastic. So I am stoked. I was really worried that they were going to tell me that the project just wasn't going to work. Luckily, we're not the only people to do this, so we just had to find people with the right equipment. I'm waiting on my girlfriend to get here, and then we are going to go grab those parts and get them back here, get them thrown on the truck. I'm also waiting. I did text him and ask him if both of them were fully done or if just one was done, because if one's done, then I won't go over there right away. But if both of them are done, obviously I'll go run over there, pay him, do all that jazz, and then I'll come back. So either way, super excited. That means that project will be back up and rocking. As you guys saw, you know, obviously the control arms are just out. So yeah, stay tuned. Give me a few minutes. And next clip should be us at least picking them up, if not maybe even talking to the gentleman and going from there. All right, so he's going to make a bunch of noise. I'm not going to make a bunch of noise at the moment. I'm going to set this down over here. These are the control arms. The guy who was working with me on the control arms, he, what the fuck am I trying to say? He just got back from lunch, so he wasn't really on camera. And we were trying to figure out our account information, but he got all these pressed in. So that's how they look, all pressed in. We did have casualty of both of the sway bar end links are busted somehow, so it is what it is. I'm going to throw them back in. I got new sway bar end links. And then at the end of this video, we are going to do a price tally of how much it costs to do everything that we just did in these last two videos. So stay tuned for that if you're curious. I'm going to try and do that more and more. So just because that way people actually get a real idea of how much it costs to build trucks, maintain vehicles, maintain everything, and go from there. So hopefully you guys can actually hear this video, because obviously he's making a bunch of racket in the background, but I believe I'm close enough to the camera that you guys should be able to hear me. So stay tuned, and I'm going to put this thing back together. I'm going to probably do a time lapse of it because you guys watch me tear it apart. So stay tuned. All right, so as you guys saw in the time lapse, I didn't show all of it, but I showed most of it. Again, if you watch the video before this one, I'll find a way to link it in. You'll obviously see how I took everything apart, and it pretty much went right reverse. The nice thing was having a second person for putting the lower control arm in. It actually went in a little easier, which means it probably would have came out without taking the axle apart at all, because I think he slid it in perfectly fine. It is what it is. So again, this is what we got. We only took everything basically connected to the lower control arm off. So it leaves pretty much just everything to go back on. I did clean up these a little bit. I still have to clean up this side. I cleaned up the rest of it so that you can actually see out of it. And then I cleaned up all that. The one thing I will say is if you go underneath my truck, outside of it obviously being salty right now, you won't see any like Rocklite wiring or really any accessory wiring at all. We made sure to tuck everything up into the frame. I have seen a few videos on both Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything of people running like all of their wires on the outside of the frame, and it just looks like a giant rat's nest going down the side. We can literally look at my frame at any point. We'll go do it right now. Again, as it's obviously salty, but you don't see any wiring outside of maybe a few small things like that running to the step light that goes underneath here. But all of the rock lights and everything, you will not see. So this is the most you'll see of a Rocklite wiring, is it going in and then getting tucked away into the frame. I still have to actually clean these up. I think zip ties might have broken from these, but you go all the way down this thing, you don't see a bunch of wires on either side. So figured I would point that out to you guys. Sometimes people contact us and go, hey, can you do rock lights, wheel ring lights, whatever on my truck? And I go, yes, but you have to understand it's gonna cost money, because snaking through that frame can be a pain in the rear. We just did it on another truck the other day. It was a Chevy 2500. I think it probably took me like full on 12 hours. And that wasn't even with drilling. We had the magnetic mounts from Custom Unlimited, and it still took forever. So anyways, going back to the topic, only thing we have to do now is put these, basically do an alignment on the truck. Unfortunately, had my dad here to help me, and he probably mixed up the bolts or these nuts pieces.
I don't think so.
So everything is a little messed up at the moment.
Exactly
but
back where it was supposed to go.
Whatever you say, Pops. So that's the only thing we really have to do. He's messing with the nut zerts right now. Well, not nut zerts. Fucking
Grease fittings.
Grease fittings, yes. I can't think, okay? I'm too many things going on in my brain. But other than that, the truck is finally going to be able to go back on the ground, which means I can both make money. It's off the hoist. Biggest thing is it's off the hoist, and it'll be... it'll get off the hoist. It might not go very far after that, but it'll get off the hoist. So I'm going to get it all down on the ground. We'll call it a day. So stay tuned. All right, so I figured I would do a quick update video. What? What do you have to say? So I have a bunch of people who watch this from all over the United States. One of my buddies is down in Georgia. Shout out to him. But I figured I would just keep showing you guys some updates. So the tie rods got seized on this side at least. So, I mean, you really can't see anymore. But as you guys can see, we had to break out the actual torch because that was the only way to get it hot enough. We had 2 torches, 2 regular... What are the other ones? MAP gas. So that's a acetylene torch. The other ones are MAP gas. MAP gas got it warm. I mean, it got fucking hot. But the acetylene somehow just tipped it over the edge. We were able to get that one adjusted. So now this wheel is pretty much straight. Again, we're doing our alignment. On the bigger trucks, especially the ones that are lifted, and if we do your lift kit in-house, we will do an alignment. This guy does string alignments in here, and we do them really damn well. This side we still have to adjust. But again, so let me see. Right about there, you can kind of see it. But this wheel is sticking out in the front. Because the vehicle sees snow, salt, and, all 4 seasons up here, these trucks get absolutely obliterated. Anything that's not coated, anything like that, gets destroyed. So you guys have seen us work on things in the past on other channels, but rust is just a huge bitch down or up here. So if you don't live in the salt belt, be very grateful for yourself, as this shit sucks. I only built this truck 2 years ago, and every single time we have gone to mess with the tie rods have damn near been seized, and it's just been a complete crap show. So we're gonna continue working on it. He's gonna do some more fun stuff, and we're gonna go at it, and hopefully we're gonna have this thing running, driving straight by the end of the night. So stay tuned. So I figure, seeing as he's gonna kind of do it, I'm gonna show you guys what he has to do. He has to heat up that tie rod where the rod goes in here. I'll zoom in. He has to heat all that up. So that's the bar, which is right here. Oops, sorry. Right there. Can actually move in and out on that tie rod. So let's go to here. That way, obviously, you can do your alignment. And that adjusts individual toe in and out for the wheels. Also affects a little bit of like other stuff, but mainly it affects toe. So that is what we have to mess with. Get those loosened up so that we can adjust the toe on the truck. And then that also messes with the steering wheel. So I'll hop in here just for a quick second and explain this. So obviously the steering wheel, if it is off one way or the other, these two tires have to adjust this way. So I'll explain it one day more in more detail. That was a horrible explanation, so I'm not even really trying it tonight. But stay tuned. We're just gonna continue messing with it. It looks like he is freaking cutting it. It's hilarious to watch this guy work. He has way too much fun doing things. So let's just do a minute of just him.
You ready to get in here?
Yeah.